Well, let's talk about that for a second, because you know, Yoko, you've even been called the Dragon Lady, who
yes,
the lady who brought the Beatles apart and took them all
Well, she
apart.
took
I
them
have trouble
apart.
with English.
Can we please give her the credit for all the nice music that George made and Ringo made and Paul made and I've made since they broke up? If she did it.
Few things sting music fans more than watching a beloved band call it quits before their time. The history of rock and pop is filled with stories of creative differences, ego clashes, and personal struggles that tore iconic groups apart. Let's look back at several who broke up too soon. The Beatles.
The event is so momentous that historians may one day view it as a landmark in the decline of the British Empire. The Beatles are breaking up.
No breakup in music history resonated as deeply as that of the Beatles. By 1970, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr had transformed popular music, evolving from the clean-cut mop tops of the early 60s into experimental visionaries by the end of the decade. They redefined the boundaries of music with their innovative sounds and complex lyrics, leaving an indelible mark on the industry. But beneath the hits and harmonious melodies, creative tensions were brewing. McCartney wanted to maintain their momentum, pushing for new projects, while Lennon grew increasingly disillusioned with the group dynamic, seeking personal expression. The death of their manager, Brian Epstein, in 1967 had already shaken their foundation, and when McCartney announced his solo plans in 1970, fans were heartbroken. Each Beatle went on to carve out their own successful solo careers, exploring different sounds and themes. But the dream of another Beatles album remains one of music's greatest what-ifs. The Replacements.
I'm doing my best to get this next band on whistle test for 18 months. The nearest I came last series was tracking them down to a hotel in the Midwest of America. The lady on the telephone told me that they'd wrecked the place the night before and had disappeared across the horizon with the police in hot pursuit. I shall keep an eye on the dressing rooms while you keep an eye on the Replacements.
For the Replacements, chaos was almost a defining trait. The Minneapolis band built its reputation on raw energy, rebellious humor, and emotional honesty. But that same volatility led to their demise. Known for unpredictable live shows that swung between brilliance and self-destruction, the band burned bright and fast. In 1991, while performing at Chicago's Grant Park, frontman Paul Westerberg announced they were breaking up, ending one of alternative rock's most beloved acts. The news shocked fans, but in hindsight, the writing had been on the wall. Substance abuse, exhaustion, and internal conflict had taken their toll. Still, the Replacements' influence only grew after their split, shaping future icons like Nirvana and Green Day.
Thanks to NOLA Mattress for sponsoring this video. NOLA is an award-winning mattress brand known for its cooling technology, exceptional pressure relief, and long-lasting durability. I'm typically a side sleeper and tend to overheat throughout the night, so I chose the best-selling NOLA Evolution mattress. It specifically supports spine alignment for side sleepers and has built-in cooling technology, so it seemed like the perfect fit for me. My mattress arrived rolled up in a box, which was super easy to set up. I just slid it out of the box, and within minutes, it was ready to go. I've now had this mattress for a little over 1 month, and it's completely transformed my sleep quality. I wake up feeling relaxed and rejuvenated, and I no longer wake up in the middle of the night from getting too hot. The comfort and cooling features of the Glaciotex cooling top has been a game changer, and I don't think I could ever go back to another mattress. Plus, buying online and getting it shipped straight to my door was way easier than going to the store. NOLA is unique because everything is made fresh to order in their Arizona factory. There's no fiberglass, no harmful chemicals, and zero off-gassing. Just clean, safe sleep. Plus, every mattress ships free and comes with a 120-night sleep trial and a limited lifetime warranty. They even offer financing if you need it. I love my NOLA mattress, and I think you would love one too. If you're looking for a new bed, head to nolamattress.com/factsverse and use the code FACTSVERSE to get an extra $50 off your NOLA mattress. This is an additional discount on top of whatever is already being offered on the site, so go check it out while you can. And after you check out, you can help out our channel by telling them that I sent you in their post-purchase survey. Thanks again to NOLA Mattress for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to go to nolamattress.com/factsverse and use the code FACTSVERSE for $50 off your NOLA mattress.
Aerosmith.
You and Joe were tagged the Toxic Twins. How does that sit with you now?
We still are. You know, we still can be toxic. You know, we fight toxically, we play toxically.
But you also took a lot of toxic drugs.
Oh, sure we did.
Was it true that you think that you blew something like $20 million on drugs?
No, probably realistically 5 or 6, easy. But it doesn't matter. You could also say I've snorted half a Peru.
In the late 70s, Aerosmith seemed unstoppable. Steven Tyler's screaming vocals and Joe Perry's guitar swagger made them the epitome of American rock. But by 1979, their non-stop touring, substance abuse, and infighting led to a shocking breakup. Perry quit mid-tour, followed by rhythm guitarist Brad Whitford not long after. It seemed the bad boys from Boston had finally imploded. Yet their story didn't end there. Against the odds, they reunited in 1984 and went on to enjoy one of the biggest comebacks in rock history, with hits like Dude Looks Like a Lady and Cryin'. While they've since taken more breaks and announced farewell tours, fans still look back on that first breakup as a painful moment when one of rock's greatest acts nearly faded away forever. One Direction.
The big news today is that One Direction, one of the band members, is leaving.
What? What?
Who do you think
Tim!
replaced him?
Did you hear One Direction is breaking up?
What?
She just told me.
Hold the phone. Are you serious?
What?
When?
Zayn is leaving the band.
Zayn! Zayn is... Time out.
Wait a minute.
I can't do this premiere. I can't do this premiere. Tip,
Which one is Zayn?
Zayn.
Oh, Zayn.
For a generation of pop fans, One Direction defined an era. Formed on The X Factor in 2010, Harry Styles, Niall Horan, Louis Tomlinson, Liam Payne, and Zayn Malik became international sensations almost overnight. But fame came at a cost. In 2015, Malik's sudden departure sent shockwaves through the fandom, and the remaining 4 members tried to carry on. They released one final album, Made in the AM, before announcing an indefinite hiatus. It became permanent soon, leaving millions of Directioners devastated. Each member pursued solo success, with Styles emerging as a major star, yet the dream of a true reunion lingers. The band's meteoric rise and sudden end remain one of pop music's most emotional stories. NSYNC.
There was a lot of questionable attire, and I think we may have been responsible for like 90% of it in that decade. So, sorry.
At the peak of their success in the early 2000s, NSYNC dominated radio, MTV, and teenage bedrooms across the world. Their harmonies, choreography, and charisma made them pop royalty alongside the Backstreet Boys. Then in 2002, the band announced what was described as a temporary hiatus. Fans waited, expecting new music, but it never came. Justin Timberlake launched his solo career, finding enormous success, while the other members were left in limbo. Though they reunited briefly for performances, NSYNC's full reunion has remained elusive. For many, the disappointment lies in how quietly the breakup unfolded. There was no grand finale, no official goodbye, just silence. The group's sudden disappearance from the charts marked the end of an era for pop music. Spice Girls.
The bottom line is, I told the Spice Girls I was going to leave in September at the end of the world tour. That's when I wanted to go. And I told them that at the beginning of the tour, so it was no surprise that I was going. However, I did leave prematurely because I wasn't allowed to do a breast cancer interview, and it was for ITN. And I just got really angry, very emotional about it because it was something very close to my heart. And, it made me question my priorities.
Few pop acts captured the spirit of the late 90s like the Spice Girls. Their message of girl power inspired millions. Their energy, humor, and style made them cultural icons. Yet behind the glitter and catchy hooks, tensions brewed. In 2000, Jerry Halliwell, Ginger Spice, left the group, citing differences with management and burnout. The remaining members carried on briefly, but officially disbanded soon after. Fans worldwide mourned the loss of a group that felt like more than just a band, they were a movement. Over the years, the Spice Girls have reunited for special tours, but each comeback has felt bittersweet, a glimpse of what once was. Rage Against the Machine.
And we got a madman.
I wanted to bring the whole thing down, but they didn't move. In my mind, I visualized the whole structure on the ground, and the next time they came out from commercial break, I wanted people to see destruction.
This guy is rock and roll. He should be getting the award.
Rage Against the Machine was never a conventional band, and their unique blend of rock, rap, and radical politics made them one of the most explosive acts of the 90s. Their powerful music served as a voice for a generation seeking social change, but sustaining that intensity proved difficult. In 2000, frontman Zach De La Rocha announced he was leaving due to creative differences, shocking fans who viewed the band as a symbol of rebellion. Though they reunited for tours and political causes over the years, Each reunion ended with frustration and conflicting visions, leading back to silence. This pattern of coming together and falling apart has created a mythic quality around the band. For fans, Rage's struggles to maintain unity reflect the same passionate spirit that made them legendary. The Everly Brothers.
I guess, too, to meet a lot of girls, but then again, you wouldn't have much of a chance to sort of get to know them very well.
The beaches, you maybe don't take the time, but with the girls, you do.
And do you have any special girls or anything particular?
They're all pretty special, I think.
All special. That's great.
When Don and Phil Everly stepped on stage together, their harmonies seemed effortless, two brothers perfectly in sync. Their influence stretched from the Beatles to Simon and Garfunkel, but behind the smooth sound lay a stormy relationship. Years of touring and creative clashes wore them down. And in 1973, the unthinkable happened. During a show at Knott's Berry Farm, Don smashed his guitar and stormed off stage, declaring he'd had enough. Phil finished the performance alone, marking the end of an era. The brothers barely spoke for years afterwards, reuniting only in the 1980s. Oasis.
I've never seen a whole Oasis gig, and I thought, I really want to see it, and then you split up too soon.
We were around for 20 years, I was on. I thought, fucking hell, what are you up to? You know what I mean? It's like, you're not like, you know what I mean? Not like these 16-year-olds that weren't born, and you were like, you lived down the corner from us, you know, you could have got off your ass. You couldn't have seen us, you know what I mean?
I can see why you don't get on with your brother. I mean,
When Oasis burst onto the scene in the mid-90s, they seemed unstoppable. The Gallagher brothers, Noel and Liam, were the embodiment of British rock swagger, delivering anthems like Wonderwall and Don't Look Back in Anger. But sibling rivalry eventually destroyed them. Their constant feuding became infamous, spilling into interviews, rehearsals, and live performances. By 2009, after one final backstage blow-up, Noel announced he was leaving the band for good. Fans were heartbroken but not surprised. For years, the friction had been public. While both brothers continued with their own projects, Oasis's split felt like the closing of a chapter in British music. Their songs remained timeless, but their downfall showed talent and tension often go hand in hand. The Police.
It's amazing that you could play that drum fill in 9 beats.
Right?
It's fantastic.
Just because you get lost, just because it's a little confusing for the fucking bass playing element.
The Police achieved remarkable success during their brief career, with Sting's captivating voice and songwriting, the innovative guitar work of Andy Summers, and Stuart Copeland's distinctive drumming. They created iconic hits like Every Breath You Take and Roxanne. But their success did not result in harmony among the band members. Sting became increasingly controlling of the band's creative direction, which led to a growing frustration among his bandmates. After their 1983 album Synchronicity and a grueling world tour, the Police decided to part ways. Fans were shocked. How could a band at the height of its success simply walk away? Though they briefly reunited in 2007 for a world tour, they were unable to recapture the magic of their early years. Now it's time to hear from you. Which of these breakups hit you the hardest? Let us know in the comments section below.